in the NFL. Simmons, Harmon, Golick, and White. Thomas, Byron Evans, and Seth Joyner playing with a bad knee. Booty starts at the cornerback spot today with Eric Allen, Hopkins, and Waters.
6-0. From their own 5, Hebert at quarterback, Hayward and Dunbar in the backfield. Rookie Vaughn Dunbar. Oh, somersaults back to the line of scrimmage. Clyde Simmons. 1st and 10 from their own 47, the Saints. Quick pass over to Turner. Oh, he lost the football. That ball was perilously close to going out of bounds. Long pass for Carroll and intercepted by Andre Waters. The ball was deflected by Jenkins. Waters has it on the return. Philadelphia will have its first possession of the second half from the New Orleans 45. And Jenkins tipped it, and Waters with a beautiful catch.
Taking up a lot of space in there.
2nd down, 11. Incomplete. Andre Waters with one of his patented blows.
Oh, doesn't he love it? Ball was conveniently thrown behind the receiver for Andre.
Yeah, really.
But he was right on time with the big stick right in the face. Who fumbled it momentarily and falls on it inside of the 20. Well, that's it.
Hebert hit when he released it. Interception, Hopkins. Reggie White forced the bad throw, and it was only a question of which Eagle would intercept.
His first starting call in the National Football League. Reeves in motion again. This is Ivory Lee. And he has William Thomas draped all over him, and that does not bode well for the Cardinals if that's the kind of running game they're going to have. A loss of 3. A little movement up front again. Brown dodges the first man. Other people arrive, and the Eagles swarm him down.
Great anticipation by Seth Joyner. Come on, you're supposed to be running patterns your whole life, and you trip over the 20-yard line?
Rosenbaugh 0 for 3 after completing his first 2. Rosenbaugh backside pressure. Down he goes. That is the first sack, and Clyde Simmons will be given credit for that. That's his first sack of the year. He had 9 hurries a year ago, and Rosenbaugh is down. First and goal at the 9. Haley this time can't get started. Good reaction that time by Clyde Simmons. He went to his first Pro Bowl last year. Chandler blitz coming, and Thomas has got him. Thomas blitzing from the cornerback spot, and Chandler had no chance.
You know, we
2nd and 5. Brown in the backfield. Their little cutback, and the green shirts are there, led by Tommy Jeter. Now, he is a rookie out of Texas. Byron Evans, the 6 seconds on the play clock. This handled by Chandler, retrieves it, and he's going to be retrieved and slammed down by Clyde Simmons. Simmons, like a sack of potatoes, slammed him down, and Chandler getting up a little drop. Which roll comes in motion. Chandler, quarterback draw, and doesn't get out of there because Mike Golick, so smart, was there, read it, and dropped it. There are 3 timeouts remaining, going without a huddle. First down at the 45. Chandler, a lot of people in his face. He's trying to get out of there, being flushed out. Joyner bats the ball away. It's picked up by Reggie White, and White will take it for 6. And Chandler is down, but it was Joyner that stripped it. Reggie White, who took it 37 yards. And the Eagle defense, as good as it gets, has done it again.
The thing about this Eagle defense, no matter what the score, no matter what quarter, what down, they keep coming. They keep coming. Joyner's coming. You see Clyde Simmons is coming. Joyner refuses to quit. He forces the fumble. And big old Reggie White, all 285 pounds. You see the speed that the man's got? That's why he's a pretty good pass rusher.
How would you like to tackle that?
No, I wouldn't want to play against him at all.
All the scores and highlights of week 2. Greg Sager has a report from San Francisco. Back to throw is Chandler, and he is buried again. And this time it's Simmons, who had gone out of there earlier, shaken up, and he's come back to shake up Chandler. 3rd and 20 now for Chandler. He's going to scramble out or try to, and down he goes. Reggie White's at his feet. And let's see, also is Andy Harmon. Harmon's playing with a cast on his left wrist.
Reggie White.
And big ones.
Yeah.
We were interviewing him last night, and I was looking at him, and I thought to myself, is there anybody stronger than that guy? He is something. 4th and 25 now. Chandler throwing out on 4th and 25,
nice
and the ball boy caught it.
That is not one nice catch.
How'd you like
The defense and maybe audible out of that.
It's a 3rd down and 8. Goes for the shovel pass. And that is short of the first down. Shannon Sharp took another hard hit, this time from Andre Waters. Rushed 3 times for only 4 yards. 2nd down and 9. Elway swinging it out, but Shannon Sharp met by the free safety, Wes Hopkins.
Shannon Sharp, one of those hybrid type players, a wide receiver in college, but
To the right, it's a 1st and 20. And Elway is tripped up. The clock is stopped.
the wrong people in there, you don't want a bad play. You got to use the timeouts, and that is the downside of multiple substitutions.
It's a 2nd down and 8. Elway under pressure with his first sack of 1992 and the 2nd sack of the day for the Eagles.
Well, Reggie White coming around. Now Elway steps up. This is a blitz situation for Philadelphia. Reggie comes from his left end, works over the middle.
2 first downs picked up by Denver. And Elway is hauled down again. 3rd sack of the day for the Eagles. Clyde Simmons with the sack. The jury was out. He was not drafted, but here he is in the starting lineup at left tackle for the Broncos. Elway airing it out. Let's see, is it intercepted? Yes. Otis Smith able to pick it off.
Throw early, but they just couldn't hit enough of them to get a drive going. So now they're faced with this big deficit and having to have a big play, or a lot of big plays.
1st down at the 15. Seals with the wraps around Reggie Rivers.
Safety, Wes Hopkins.
3rd down and about 5. And that did not work. Inside handoff intended for Greg Lewis. And the Eagles saw it all the way. Andy Harmon with the tackle to Calvin Williams. And the Eagles with a 30-0 lead on the Broncos. 2nd down and 5. Sean Moore goes down inside the 10. Clyde Simmons with the sack. We're set for another update. Let's go to Bob
To
Johnson.
the safety. It is 2nd down and 25. And Smith goes nowhere. As the Eagle defense sends out an immediate message. Mike Golick, number 90, the first to hit. Saw 11 straight games not allowing 90 yards rushing, an NFL record. 3rd down 25 as Aikman throws, and it's picked off at the 35 by John Foodie. He's inside the 20. He's down to the 14. And Andre Waters is in the middle of this one along with Nate Newton.
The benches are clearing.
Well, it only took 1 minute and 10 seconds for all of this to happen. Ruzek, a former Cowboy. His first kick went to the 5-yard line, and this one to about the same spot. Martin again. Oh, what a tackle by Keith Sherman, the Philadelphia running back.
Even the Eagle running backs are hard hitters.
Well, I'll tell you, Dallas has got to come out here now and settle down. 28 big ones. And Cowboys right now in a situation that you do not want to get into against the Eagles. They will pin their ears back and come.
3rd and 7, and here they come, and there goes Aikman. In the first half, Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf, Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Eagles lead by 3 as the Cowboys come up to the line of scrimmage, which is the 2-yard line. The Eagles have allowed 1 rushing touchdown in the last 10 games dating back to last year. 3rd and goal after the timeout. Aikman to throw. Aikman scrambling and looking and throwing, and it's picked off in the end zone by Wes Hopkins.
I think they're going to rule it at the 1-yard line.
The tight end.
It's the automatic first down that's the killer here.
Here's Emmitt Smith. Nowhere. Andy Harmon, 91 with the tackle. 2:40 to go in the half, and as we look for 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. The fake draw, and then Aikman has his arm hit as he throws, and it's intercepted by Byron Evans. Out of bounds at the 45 of Dallas.
Was it Reggie White? It was somebody coming from the right side.
Seth Joyner.
Seth Joyner got a hand on the ball.
Waters back in the game, 1st and 10 at the 48, 39 seconds left in the quarter. Aikman over the middle again, and it's deflected off Johnson's hands into Giesecke's hands. He loses the ball. Eagles have it.
And that'll be a fumble by John Giesecke.
Boy, but is this not Eagles defensive football? They are so disruptive.
The most important was the way he took a tremendous shot on his knee and came back into the game.
And they keep on smoking as Reggie White gets the sack back at the 5-yard line.
On the other side of the field, though, Jimmy Johnson
It's a very turbulent situation here in Philadelphia.
after Rich Kotite, it worked out well that Bud Carson was relieved of his duties at Cleveland. Another sack.
Yep. Kind of a typical way for an Eagle game to end as Reggie White comes in, and that's 4 sacks tonight.
Still passing. Fumble. And Dave Craig has just fumbled for the 112th time in his career. He is the all-time NFL leader, and that is his 4th fumble of this season. 5 after the offside on Reggie White. Play action again. Craig knocked down by Clyde Simmons. That's the 2nd sack of the game for the Philadelphia Eagles. 5 from the 46. Run blitz, and Okoye is stopped at the 45 for a loss of 1. Clyde Simmons makes the tackle.
Any better than he is today.
250 yards, 3 touchdowns. A 21-3 lead for the Kansas City Chiefs. Play fake, bootleg, and Seth Joyner coming right at him. That's the 3rd sack that Bud Carson's defensive unit has gotten on Dave Craig today. 10 at their own 32-yard line, leading by 14. Play fake. Good block. Craig goes by Simmons and slides down with a gain of 1.5. Tell us they were only going to do it once. 3rd and 5. Craig with time. Eric Allen. Allen has it. He's still fair game. No out of bounds indication at all. Eric Allen walked the tightrope with his first interception of the year.
On that right side, give Mark Rippon time to throw the ball.
30 yards. Up in a hurry to stop Ricky Irvins is Andre Waters. In the backfield, in fact.
That's the thing. That would have been the time to go play pass.
Very short. At the 1. Irvins did not get in. Byron Evans led the Green defense. So Rippon going to work now. Back to throw it. Down he goes. Nobody blocked. Seth Joyner and Byron Evans.
And the thing is, and I think they left one-on-one on Reggie White again. Sometimes you get a little confidence, you get going, and you forgot what brought you there. They did have control. In fact, that was the first sack there, Pat. That was the first sack the Eagles have had this quarter, this game, this half, thus far.
Rippon taking his time. Gives off to Biner, and it looks as if the Redskins will just be content to run things second and goal. Ball's at the 5. Rippon looking. Ball batted out of his hands. Picked off by Byron Evans. Chased by Biner. Evans. Lateral. And knocked out of bounds finally by Donnie Warren. Eric Allen got the lateral.
Eric Allen could say he's right. He says, okay, that's what he's saying right there. He said, I gave him the penalty, I gave him another penalty, and then we got the ball back, so that shows that we were right. But again, Rippon throws another duck here. I mean, he may have gotten hit there, but he's been throwing some wobbly passes. Evans gets the ball. Now watch, you really have to have hands to do something like this. He switched it to his from his right to his left. Then he sees something, and he just passes a lateral out there like one of those option plays.
That gives you an idea, too, how strong Ricky Irvins is. He gets the carry again. Nothing there. Seth Joyner made the stop. Anywhere else? You don't get the feeling that you're part of the crowd anywhere else like you do here. Ricky Irvins, right side.
Did go down there. The Eagles maybe thought that was pass interference. There's Britt Hager again. He did that on the goal line. Remember, he stopped him once, that same type of blitz. That's close to being a safe
game. And now Goodburn cannot get back as deeply as he would normally. So perhaps the Eagles have a better chance from here to block it.
Oh, the Redskins are going to take two.
Goodburn just trots out of the end zone. They'll concede the 2 points and get the free kick from the 20.
I'm surprised that they did that. You know, if you have more than a 14-point lead, I think that's a good move. But now, see, the Eagles needed 2 touchdowns to tie him. Now with that, the Eagles can beat him with 2 touchdowns. I'm surprised that they took the safety.
They have a 2nd and 15. Drop play to centers, and that is stopped again by Thomas. William Thomas, number 51.
William Thomas put an exclamation point on that bad boy. I heard it all the way up here, Tim.
So the Cardinals from their 25-yard line. First down, scoreless game. Pump fake, up the middle, centers. Diving, loose ball. Still loose. Still loose, and finally a pile-up. Eagles say they have it. 4 different guys, 2 on each side, had a shot at it. The ball is at midfield. Eagles ball. Lead. Complete. First down, Randall Hill, loose ball into the end zone. Eagles have it. Rich Miano looks like there's a flag down up, but that might just be a marker at the 15-yard line. It is going to be Eagles ball. Bailey got 2 yards down to the 1.
Philadelphia Eagles have not allowed a rushing TD at all this year.
Seth Joyner made the tackle there, trying to preserve that statistic.
And that's something you really take pride in from a defensive standpoint. And that starts up front. That starts out with Reggie White and all the people down inside. But Reggie is the leader of that front. And you'll expect a big play from your big play people right now.
No sign yet. The ball came loose.
Somebody pulled it out of their hands. I don't think.
And it is going to be Eagles ball.
I got to see this. Chandler stuck the ball out. Like he wanted to get over the goal line. Somebody just yanked it out of his hand.
Well, it's Mike Pitts who came up with it. Number 74. Whether he stole it or fell on it afterwards, hard to see in that pileup. Well, that's incredible. A quarterback sneak turns into a fumble. Penalty is against the Eagles.
Watch Chandler now. He's going to go past his center. Now he pushes the ball out. Oh, the ball did come out. That is a fumble, but it makes no difference. The Eagles were off sides, and you know what? They got to be kicking themselves.
Quite readily, they're happy to play the Eagles. They think they've got a shot every time.
Shot!
Mike Golick and Byron Evans.
You don't have to say a word. Just tune your hearing aid up and listen to this.
That is a major ouch.
I'm going to tell you what, if that doesn't get you wanting to play football, nothing will. Now the Eagles got to feed off of that hit right here.
3rd down. Bailey.
There's a
not
flag.
There. There's a flag, and it appeared to be offside Eagles. Bailey, meanwhile, did not get there. The Eagles putting up quite a fight at the goal line, but 2 penalties down here and a timeout.
This is the sloppiest goal line stand I've ever seen, and maybe one of the more exciting ones. What a great shot that last. I'm still feeling it up here, Tim.
Did you say that shot would want to make you play football? Did I hear you correctly?
No question. Hey, if you don't want to get in there and put your helmet and pads on and get out there and smack somebody after seeing that, then you're not a defensive player.
Man, let me explain something to you. Most of our people looking in don't feel the same way you do about that. In fact, probably contrarily. We'll be back to Veterans Stadium in a moment. 3rd down, that's what they need after that penalty. 2 minutes to play in the first half. 2 more shots for the Cardinals to try and tie it up.
You know, it all starts inside there with Harmon and Golick, but you know what? We have not seen them run at Reggie White the whole time, so he hasn't been a factor because they haven't let him be a factor down here.
Well, let's see if he jumps into the middle or stays on the left side.
He's outside.
Chandler trying to get the ball over. Another flag is down. Chandler did not get there again.
That was one of the most pathetic quarterback sneaks I have ever seen.
And again, a penalty, the 3rd in this series against the Eagles.
William Thomas is called right here, and he's not happy about it, but he shouldn't be. He should be mad at himself. How can you be offside in a situation like this? You hold your water, and you make the play. Now, they expect a lot of big things out of William Thomas, but they don't expect that. 3 offsides calls.
They've got nowhere to go on half the distance penalties now. The nose of the football is on the paint.
It's unbelievable.
If they get another one, there's nowhere to put it.
part of your defense is because they take everything out from underneath. It's a game of leverage. Watch the defense in front just getting underneath them, pushing them back. See, they get the push coming over the top. Seth Joyner with a shot to the face. I'll tell you, you can't draw this up any better. Look, everybody's under pads. Bailey trying to go over the top. Great defense on the front line.
Now they're going for it.
Now this is... Joe Bugle says he's a tough guy. He's going to try to prove it right now.
Stopped them on 7 consecutive plays from the 3-yard line in. Took 2 offside penalties. 3 make it. And still kept the Cardinals out of the end zone.
Same thing. They beat him at the point. Nowhere to run that ball. Bailey stays low. They never got a push.
All about 5'10", 5'11". Not the huge backs there used to be in pro football. Here's Aikman spinning out of pressure, chased by Reggie White, and run out of bounds by Seth Joyner. No gain by Aikman, and I think they're out of Elliott's range. 2nd down and about 6. Aikman to throw. Just picked off. Byron Evans. And Evans gives the Eagles a ball deep in Dallas territory.
That's what Jimmy Johnson was worried about yesterday, the turnovers. He said, when we lost 31-7, he said that's how we got killed by the turnover. Colt was one of the guys that they got for Herschel Walker from Minnesota.
Aikman carried the ball back to Smith, who didn't look like he wanted it.
Arizona over Washington. 2nd and 8. Good protection. Intercepted off the hands of Willie Gault and right into the midst of Eric Allen. Allen's 2nd of the year, a gift. Not there anymore. As if he was catapulted forward. Marcus Allen replaces him, and Marinovich is smothered.
Dick, do they award quarter sacks? I think all 4 of them got there.
Said at the 5:17 mark of the first quarter, let's all meet at Marinovich.
Reggie White over on the left-hand side. Normally on the right-hand side. His ball.
This is where the Eagles like to tee off. Play action. Whoa! Wes Hopkins! That was up there as a gift. Hopkins had a better chance of catching it than did Steve Smith.
Another floater. He had pressure in his...
Will play next week in Wisconsin. Marinovich going long for Brown. Intercepted by Booty at the 5-yard line. 3 picks by the Eagles. Marinovich does not look good this first half.
No, and Dick, there's no reason for him to throw this other than to just make a point rather closely this year.
That was pretty close. Marcus Allen, and now the Raiders with the penalties being pushed back, and apparently want to just run out the clock. Seth Joyner makes that tackle. Joyner playing with a brace on a injured left knee.
Touchdown on that coverage.
Fake to Dickerson. Schrader starts the second half and throws one up for grabs. Oh, my. Eric Allen makes his 2nd interception today. And then hit from behind by Alexander Wright at the 45 of the Raiders. Ethan Horton, the intended receiver, but that ball just floated up there. Horton had no chance.
Not even close, Dick.
First 2 catches in Los Angeles. Go from the 49.
Dickerson takes one step and then is devoured by Reggie White, with Seth Joyner picking up the scraps.
Say amen, brother.
And Marcus. Uh-oh. And time running out on Schrader. Allen. Who else? And it'll depend on the spot. It looked as if he made it to the 30. That would be a first down. But they're spotting it way short of the 30. And based on the linesman's left foot, I don't think Marcus made it.
Not even close. Again, though, a crucial play, and the guy that carries it is Marcus Allen, the guy they don't want out there.
But under limited circumstances, and the clock's running down, they were late getting the play in, and you know, part of the blame of if this one did fail has to go to the sideline.
Yep.
Seemed they had trouble even. They weren't really set in the formation with 4 seconds to go on the play clock, and there's the difference.
Goodness.
And the Eagles get the cheers from their fans, the defense, and the defense has earned it. We'll keep you abreast of all the highlights and scores, so stay with us. Reggie White fumble. And it's finally covered, I believe, by Reggie McElroy.
Well, how about
and
that?
Clyde Simmons actually has the ball, and it's Simmons who took it away from McElroy at the last minute.
I mean, it's 31-3. Reggie White is still coming on the pass rush.
Quarterback thing, and hey, what's wrong with the coach saying you're a star, but you're not playing very well? I'll just give you a weekend off. Reggie White meets Marcus Allen. And you can't tell White that they're ahead 31-3, and there's only 4 minutes to go. He's still doing what he enjoys best.
Played no score opening drive for the Packers. Barr pumps and throws it complete. Fumble! And it looks to be recovered by the Eagles. Seth Joyner looked to have been the one to knock it loose, and Rich Miano came up with the fumble recovery. Second fumble recovery of the season for Miano.
Tendency to fumble on occasion, and nothing makes Coach Hogan madder than that.
2nd and 4. And Thompson wrapped up in the backfield that time, so good pursuit by that Eagles defense, and it's an actual loss of 3 on the play. Ball at the 49 of the Eagles. 7:40 left in the second quarter play. The handoff. And that looks like maybe a loss of 1 yard. The handoff to Darrell Thompson. Tackled by Byron. 33-yard run by Darrell Thompson. Ball at the 17, 1st and 10. A bootleg by Favre. Pump. Intercepted by William Thomas. So Brett Favre throws his 7th interception of the season. William Thomas coming up with his first pick of the season.
Moving up the Packers' all-time receiving list.
On the ground, and what a hit that time. My goodness. Clyde Simmons flattened Darrell Thompson, and I know Thompson's trying to get up like he's not hurt, but you know his bell was rung that time. Boy,
magnificent day, really, blocking offensively.
Nearly 8 yards of play average. My goodness. And there is the first sack of the day. The graphic will now have to be changed as Andy Harmon comes in to record his 4th sack of the season. 5:27 left. Eagles on top, 24-21. Favre back to pass. Throws a pick, and Evans takes it out of bounds at about the 19. 4th interception of the year for Byron Evans. 2nd and 5. Favre rolling and runs out of bounds with it. Couldn't find an open guy, so Brett Favre smartly takes it out of bounds.
Sacked 5 times last week against Denver, but they have been nearly perfect inside the red zone this year. That is not an impressive start from inside the red zone in this game. A loss of 1 yard for Jared Bunch. Defense. 2nd down and 3. The quarterback's delight with 4:35 to go. Hostetler on the pressure, and down he goes. So even without Clyde Simmons, Reggie White, you can single him, double him, he'll get in there anyway, and picks up the sack and a loss of 7 yards. In on the 23-yard line. Hampton goes in motion. Hostetler ducks one defender, but he can't duck another, and the ball is blown dead. No fumble on the play and a loss of 4 yards. Reggie White with his second sack of the afternoon.
You know, if this was a grass field, you'd say, well, Reggie was trying to slam Hostetler down and make a divot with his shoulder and head in the
TD pass to Meggett. Hostetler faces a 3rd and 3 at the 40. Out of the shotgun, and here's the blitz, and the pass is intercepted by Seth Joyner. Meggett trying to chase him, but Joyner's going to win the race, and the Eagles get an interception touchdown. 43-yard return, and it all started with a Wes Hopkins safety blitz. 3 wide receivers. McCaffrey in the slot, moves to the right. Hostetler is finally decked by Andy Harmon. He had Reggie White to worry about, and then Andy Harmon came in late, and basically the Eagles covered well downfield in a loss of 8 big yards. Out of the shotgun, spreading the defense. Hostetler can't find anyone, and down he goes again. And that'll be Clyde Simmons, shaken up earlier, and that's his first sack of the game, and number 12 on the year. Limbering up, he apparently would be the man if the Giants can get to that point. 12 seconds remaining in the first half. Eagles in a prevent defense here. Hostetler loses the ball. And it's all going to be a moot point as the clock stops with 2 seconds to go, and the Eagles have recovered the fumble. Reggie White knocked the ball away from Hostetler.
A flinch, because these guys put helmets on quarterbacks. Last week they didn't against Favre and the Packers, but they're getting all over Hostetler.
And a block kick. The Eagles could get a touchdown out of this. And they do. Ken Rose blocked the kick, and the Eagles get another defensive touchdown. This is a special team score. And we haven't seen Rich Kotite with a smile on his face in I don't know how many weeks.
You heard about a lookout block on a quarterback? Corey Miller just put a lookout block on his punter, and Rose just smothered that thing. He was all over that ball. Landetta never had a shot.
Sacks for the Eagles. 2nd down and 10. And the give is to Meggett. Stopped cold by Byron Evans. And a loss of 2. And you can just feel how the Philadelphia Eagles defense and special teams have come and really taken the wind out of the Giants.
Against that Dallas defense, they think Philadelphia's going to attack them. Wait till they see Charles Haley.
First down for the Giants on the 30-yard line. Jeff Hostetler's pass to McCaffrey, and he makes a fine catch, reaching in. And Hostetler is hit, maybe hurt this time. He has taken a beating. And remember, he came in with tender ribs. And he's not moving. So Kent Graham on the sideline is going to start to throw. There he is, number 10.
Watch the inside stunt come free. Golick comes underneath the stunt outside by Reggie White. Under the chin and to the ground. That doesn't get rid of the ball. Don't make him stand there.
1st and 10 on the 44-yard line. Loses the ball, and the Giants get it. Nearly fumbled it away. McCaffrey came in as the leading receiver for the Giants. Now Rodney Hampton gets no room to roam off the right side. And a loss of 1 yard. And now Howard Cross is surrounded and pushed down by one of the Eagles. He was outnumbered by a big margin. Graham out of the shotgun. Graham is going to be sacked. Whistle blew. And the 7th sack of the game. Clyde Simmons now has 2. Crowd should get in the game a little more too. They've been kind of quiet. 2nd down and 1. Graham is going to go deep for Stephen Baker, and it's intercepted by John Booty. So that threat ends for the Giants, if you want to call it one at midfield, as John Booty, the former New York Jet, picks one off. The Eagles will get the ball back when we return.
McCaffrey, he's done it for him earlier.
Out of the shotgun with 3 wide receivers. 4th down pass, tipped away, and a great defensive play by the rookie Mark McMillan out of Alabama. Broke up a Giant attempt to score. It was intended for Stephen Baker, and the Eagles will take over on down.
Cannon still is the one thing that's just got to be there.
3rd down and 10 from the 49. Graham being chased by Golick, and he is dropped by him back on the 45-yard line of the Giants. A loss of 4 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
It's a good defense because there's no quitting these guys right now.
Graham's pass. Megan has it. Loses the ball. A Giant might have dove in, but let's see what the official call is. And it's the Eagles recovering the fumble, and that is the 8th turnover of the ball game. And Mike Golick.
The only way Joe Montana's going to get back there on the field is if something happens to Steve Young.
On 1st down. That's Amp Lee. He and Ricky Waters, he was their #1 draft choice. 1st and 10, 49ers at their own 6. Young to Amp Lee. Hit by Byron Evans and knocked backwards for a loss of 3.
I'll tell you, those 2 running backs are going to know Byron Evans today.
By the 49ers, beg your pardon. Here's Young down this time in the arms of Mike Pitts.
They haven't had much success doing that. Mike Pitts got that sack there. I'll tell you, the guy they've been doing a pretty good job of blocking is Reggie White.
They sure have.
Made a play early. We haven't heard his name much.
2nd and 19. Young again by Mike Pitts. He was the first one there. Now the 49ers have 1 more timeout.
And a rebuilt secondary. Mark McMillan gets his first start today. Booty and Miano are the safeties. It's 2nd and 5. Salisbury, a lot of time. But then the pocket collapses and he is down at the 30. And it was Clyde Simmons and Reggie White who got there. 3rd and 1. Randall McDaniel fumble. Salisbury picks it up and drops down at the 25. And that means Fuad Revez will attempt a field goal. Joe Johnson in the slot to the right. And a rollout by Sean Salisbury. He is chased and sacked. Seth Joyner. The Pro Bowler from a year ago gets his 5th sack of the season.
Yeah, he's just got too much speed for Salisbury to get around this corner. Really came out of nowhere. Jordan.
1st down at the 31. Salisbury. Andy Harmon. That's his 5th-and-a-half sack. And he gets a headbutt from Seth Joyner. At the Rams or Philadelphia at Seattle. Jim McMahon leads the cheers. 1st down and 10, 70 yards away from a go-ahead score. Into the flat, picked off. Intercepted by Seth Joyner. Touchdown, Eagles. And a salute to the end zone.
Watch Joyner. He's on the outside of this picture here. The pass is going to come to Terry Allen, or so Salisbury would have hoped. Joyner was on his way to the quarterback, saw the halfback come outside, made a fantastic catch, and easily scored. But it's that end zone salute, Vern, that you talked about. And what it is Joyner, after he gets in the end zone, is going to run over and stand in front of a sign that is in the memory of Jerome Brown. He searches it out, knows exactly what he wants to do.
Blitz. Sack. That's 5. Andy Harmon gets credit for it, but make it a coverage sack.
Jerome Brown, a very good friend, and well, I tell you, they were like blood brothers. Chris Warren. Cortez Kennedy, we talked about how close the relationship was between he and Jerome Brown. Did not want to talk about Jerome Brown the week of the game. Agreed to talk with us and the rest of the media 2 weeks ago. He said it would just be too emotional for him to talk about it.
Well, the great thing is that he's going to keep alive the memory of Jerome Brown. He's going to be a Hall of Fame player himself. He's going to wear Jerome's number the rest of his career. So as long as Cortez Kennedy is playing, the memory of Jerome Brown will be kept alive. And I think that's...
And Andre Waters out of there, he's got to become more vocal. Hawks 0 for 3 on third down conversions. And intercepted by Eric Allen. 4th interception of the season. Now, John, you have your players, when you were coaching, go through that kind of tip drill every day, and boy, it paid dividends that time for Allen.
Well, that time the ball was thrown behind Blades. Blades had enough room. They were going to match Allen and Blades on third down. There was enough room there for that ball to get in. He threw it behind him. If Philadelphia is coming with a blitz matchup between Brian.
And the sack that time to Mike Golick. 2nd sack of the season for Golick, who did not start.
Great job. There's no man in the NFL that I respect more than Tom Flores, and it's hard to probably for people to believe, but he's done a great job this year.
Less than a minute to play, and Reggie White comes through and picks up a sack on the ball game. 10.5 on the season for Reggie White. Makes it 120.5 for his career.
0 on second down.
Warren and Williams the backs. 1 second and 10. And Reggie White with his 2nd sack of the ball game. 121.5 on his career. That's the 4th sack by the Eagles.
Well, this time he's not on the nose man. He's coming, but he is on the left end position, and he just comes so fast. This is the thing that Seattle has to be careful of taking the negative yardage. Now they're 3rd down and 1,000,000. Here you see Reggie, and watch him come. Watch how fast he gets off the mark here. Look at the power right through. Hitchcock really doesn't have much of a chance, and he's through with great power, great quickness, great power. Today they've done battle pretty well.
1 second down, Gelbaugh launching it in the direction of Thomas, and it's intercepted. Mark McMillan with his first interception, the rookie out of Alabama. And still down on the turf is Thomas. Seattle, 2 timeouts remaining. Philadelphia 1. 3rd and 10. Simmons, sack. And a little help as well from Reggie White.
30 yards, another Redskin first down. Biner got 16 on that last play. And he gets another shot at it. This won't be 16. Clyde Simmons wrapped him up for a loss. R3. Rippon. This is picked off by Seth Joyner. A flag on the play downfield. Hold everything. Let's see what this is about.
Well, you know, the Eagles all the way back to Buddy Ryan were big on that interception or picking up a ball and lateraling it. course, I think what they're going to say is the Eagles are going to have the ball. The interception is going to stay. I think they're ruling that it was a forward lateral.
Illegal forward pass, or whatever they call it.
Well, Seth Joyner lateraled it to Otis Smith.
Right.
We have an interception. Interception on a play. Following the interception, there was an illegal forward pass. Number 59, 5 yards, first down.
40 seconds now left to play in the first half.
The Redskins have 2 timeouts.
Here's Rippon. There's Rippon. Reggie White took him down. Clock stopped now with 33 seconds left to play. A loss of 4 yards.
The touchdown is the third receiver.
Rippon over 3,000 yards. Fires again. Picked off by William Thomas. First down, Eagles. As they lead by a point and they take over. Not a happy Joe Gibbs, but a jubilant bunch of Eagles.
Things are the things that put him in the NFL.
2nd and 10. Rippon. And down he goes. By Clyde Simmons. Andy Harmon. And Simmons combined for that sack. Sanders in motion. And here's Rippon back to throw it. Reggie White chasing. Pass is incomplete in the end zone. And it's over. Eric Allen batted it down at the last second. Gary Clark was the intended receiver. The Eagles are in the playoffs.
On the field, and that has not come across the New York Giants.
You have all of your players believe in you. Hostetler under pressure. Scrambles for about 3. The ball came loose. Eagles have it. William Thomas, the linebacker.
And the man who has to make it happen for the Philadelphia Eagles, Reggie White, here to strip that ball, and Thomas picked it up. The big break for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they've got to keep it up all game long.
4 wide receivers in now on 3rd down. Low snap, Hostetler. Eagles have the football. Andy Harmon. 2 fumbles by Hostetler. 1 in the Giants' end, and now here in Philadelphia territory.
He just never got his hands on it.
Early 9. It's 3rd down and about a football. Rodney Hampton is stopped for a loss.
Tim, I don't like that if you're a New York Giant, because wherever bunch goes, that's where the ball's going. Whenever we played them, I went wherever the fullback went. There's just nowhere to go.
Down by 14. 5:01 to go in the first half. Hostetler is sacked. Mike Golick and Reggie White are there. 2nd Eagles sack. Up on the right side, Cross and Derek Brown. Hampton stopped at the line of scrimmage. Clyde Simmons made the initial hit.
And what the Philadelphia Eagles say is, we're going to beat you physically.
Down and 8 as Bunch turned it into almost 2 yards. Hostetler, led by Reggie White, and then by Mike Pitts, who got him. 4 sacks.
Jeff Hostetler just ducked and tried to save his life as Reggie White comes over the top. White on the left side of your screen. It's just going to be another jailbreak. He beats Riesenberg inside. Mike Pitts mops it up, but Reggie White is just, this is one guy who changed the NFC East, as did Lawrence Taylor. When Reggie White showed up, that left tackle or right tackle spot really became important on every other team in the NFC East.
Reggie White, this morning's Philadelphia Inquirer, a very graceful column by their fine columnist Bill Lyon about what a tragic loss to Philadelphia it would be if they don't give up the green, as that sign says, and keep Reggie White here in Philadelphia, not just because of all of the things we've been saying today about his ability as a ball player, but in addition to those, his qualities as a human being and the great image that he portrays for the Eagles in the city of Philadelphia. Hostetler gets some time. He's got a man. Intercepted. Miano.
When I was there before he was transferred over to West Virginia.
A fitting way for the Eagles, a defensive team, to finish off the Giants on 4th down. A sack, their 5th of the day, back at the Giant 35. Reggie White, Simmons, and Mike Flores.
Stuff happened. Martin is out. That's early in motion. And Hebert will throw. Steps around Reggie White, gets it outside to Dalton Hilliard. Fumble. Eagles. Rich Miano on top of it. Philadelphia has the ball. There was no knee down in that case.
With a guy like Ironhead in the backfield as a blocker or runner, here he's in a position to be a lead blocker. It's hard to stop him for less than a yard.
Dunbar is deep. And Hebert gets to him. Close to the first down, I don't know. Very close. Ken Rose and William Frizzell made the stop. They mark it back where I don't think he got it now. And here comes Anderson.
Yeah, that was a big defense for the Philadelphia Eagles. They had to do that. You see, Ironhead leads out here, but the penetration inside hurt him. You see, his own guy got knocked into him. I think Chris Port gets knocked out, or the center gets knocked out. You see the guard pulling Port, number 70. You see, he pulls, and as he pulls, he gets knocked back. He gets knocked back into Ironhead. You always talk about a dominant defensive player. What is the dominant defensive player? Watch Reggie White on that. He takes Hobie Brenner, knocks him back, and this throws off the whole play. Football. Now, I think if you had to pick of the teams going into the playoffs, the best team, I think it would be unanimous for the 49ers.
Hebert throws the interception to Eric Allen. Simmons put the heat on Hebert. Get that ball that far. That's quite an effort. Hebert. Pass is picked off right in the middle. Ted Joyner made the interception. Nobody was close. 2nd and 20. Up by 4 points. Bear screen pass to Dunbar. All over him is Byron Evans. A loss of 4 yards. The pass was complete.
And that was man-to-man. Byron Evans is in perfect position. He's man-to-man all the way. You see 56? He's watching him all the way. Man-to-man. He's going to take him. And they just throw it out there to Dunbar, and there's Byron Evans. It's tough. You like to throw a screen or that loop when they're in zone, when they all drop off, not when they're man-to-man.
Since that 3rd down play we were talking about, you were talking about, those are the total yards. The Eagles have gotten 95. The Saints with that loss -4. It's 3rd and 23 here now.
That's why Reggie White is an impact player, and that goes all the way back to the first play in the 4th quarter.
Blitz Hebert in the end zone. That could be a safety. That is a safety. Reggie White tripped Hebert in the end zone. He tried to lunge and get it out and couldn't make it.
That's why they call them impact players. That's why they call them dominant players. Reggie White in this second half became a dominant player. Reggie White took over this
game. That's the first sack by the Eagles today.
And here's Reggie White out here. Let's just watch him. Again, he'll do it with power and he'll do it with speed. He starts into Stan Brock. That's his bull rush. You start in, you just get him going back. He just knocks old Stan Brock. See, once you get him lifted up, then you can knock him back. He just runs right over Stan Brock, and in the process, he runs right over Bobby Hebert. See, he's coming from Hebert's right, knocks Stan Brock down, runs over him, and knocks Hebert down for a two-point safety. And then, the amazing thing about it, for an old defensive lineman, he even knows the signals for a safety.
Well, Stan Brock was saying yesterday, what about Reggie White? Well, he's a man, as you said earlier. And Brock said it's like grabbing a bear with short arms.
Yeah, like playing against a bear. He said once he gets on you, he says you can't block. A big surprise and a very solid performer for this Eagle team. Of course, the loss of Jerome Brown devastated this Eagle team. Andy Harmon was one of the guys who stepped in to help.
Here's Hebert back to throw. Picked off by Eric Allen. And get ready for Dallas. The Eagles, 35-20 now. 18-yard touchdown return by Eric Allen. Remember, it was Eric Allen that knocked down the pass in the end zone intended for Gary Clark when they got into the playoffs against the Redskins.
Reggie White was telling us last night that he has never been on a championship team in his life.
At any level. Taking over in the second half in New Orleans on the road, lead it by 16 points now. 2:17 left to play.
You know, and I still think you go back to that play and that third down play that Reggie White made. I think that turned around the whole game.
First down and 15. Cowboys lead it 7-3. Emmett Smith, the object of Andre Waters' ire. Emmett Smith said he was staying out of it. He had said what he had to say after the Monday night games in regular season play. First down and 10. Emmett Smith, whoa, boy. Andy Harmon made a heck of a defensive play, number 91. Yeah, and they'll hit you.
And these teams don't like each other.
Second down. Here comes Golick. That's going to be a holding call. They're going to bring that one back against Dallas as Mike Golick had knifed through and Reggie White finally got there. First and 10. Blitz. Evans. Aikman in trouble. Got him. Byron Evans right up the middle.
And he got help from William Thomas, something the Eagles don't do very often, and that's blitz with their linebacker.
Stadium. It was a victory hammered home by the defense. The Eagles were now 6-3. Every NFL season is a marathon. It's the long run that matters, not the short sprint. And this defense was built to last. After their record-setting performance in 1991, they had, after 9 games in '92, allowed the fewest points in the NFL. The shining moment came against the Phoenix Cardinals. Even for a defense long established as more grit than glitter, more spit than polish, the stand they took at the goal line in the second quarter showed remarkable resolve.
Here we go. Everyone in tight. Real test for the Eagles' goal line defense. Second and goal. Chandler this time gives it off, and they stuck Bailey. They stuck him.
What made this series so extraordinary was that the Eagles were offside 3 times, giving Phoenix 7 shots, all inside the 1.
Pretty soon you run out of like infinity. You know what I mean? How can you keep cutting the half of the distance? You know, okay, get the micrometers out there. Half the distance.
Here is another third down. What is this, the third and goal? The handoff, Johnny Bailey, and they stand him up, and he doesn't make it again.
He loses. I think he loses 12 inches. This goal line defense has been something. Here we go. 4th and goal.
Hand off Johnny Bailey. Does he make